What's up, Internet? Cory Zamier here, collecting with Cory, and we're here to talk about my gaming shame. And that, of course, based on the title of this video and the thumbnail, is we're going to talk about some Super Nintendo Final Fantasy games that I probably should have played. Now, I've recently picked up the box and manual for the illustrious Final Fantasy II from a very cool YouTuber. You should go check him out, Co-op Collector on YouTube. I'll leave a link down in the channel. I'll leave a link down in the description below. Very nice condition, a little bit of damage right there, but aside from that, gonna look really nice on my shelf. And this actually completes my Super Nintendo Final Fantasy collection, aside from like a map, I think. And it kind of brought up that, and it kind of reminded me that I haven't really played any of these, with the exception of the one I probably should have played the least of, which is Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. This one was actually just brought over to the United States as like a starter RPG for us dumb Americans. And I've probably put between childhood and adulthood probably 20 hours into this, which is well over triple what I've put into the other two Final Fantasies on the Super Nintendo combined. Not to say that this game is bad, I enjoy it, but by comparison, that's pretty shameful, I would say. Final Fantasy II, also known as Final Fantasy IV, over in Japan. I've watched some Let's Plays on it, on the PSP version, the complete version, and all the after story, stuff like that. Like, I used to watch a lot of Let's Plays on RPGs that I haven't played, so I do know the story of this pretty well. Very interesting. Knowing that I've watched all the Let's Plays on it, I don't know if I would play it myself right now. But very specifically, Final Fantasy III, I've maybe put 3 hours into this game, total, lifetime. And I bought this, the cart only, way back in the day, when Game Crazy was still in business, if you can remember. Probably spent $20 on the cartridge at most. Back then I didn't have any money, so, you know, that was a good deal, and it still is a good deal. And I really couldn't get into it, to be honest. Back then, it was probably right after, well, not right after Final Fantasy VII, but I was very much set in my ways of, I liked the way Final Fantasy VII did things, and even Final Fantasy VIII back then I couldn't get into. I liked Final Fantasy IX, but when I tried to go back to Final Fantasy III / Final Fantasy VI, I was just like, I just would rather play Final Fantasy VII again, which I know a lot of people is going to be blasting me in the comments, because I know Final Fantasy III / Final Fantasy VI, I'm just going to call it Final Fantasy III for this because we're talking about the Super Nintendo versions, is a lot of people's favorite Final Fantasy. And I've fortunately not really spoiled too much of it for myself. I didn't watch any Let's Plays. I've heard generalized spoilers, but I don't know the whole story. I know that the villain in the story is supposedly one of the best video game villains of all time, Kefka. So I know I should look forward to playing that game. But I don't know, I guess I'm looking for motivation too. Right now I've been playing through the Pokemon games that just came out, Pokemon Sun and Moon, and I'm absolutely loving them. They're in my top 5 games of all time right now. So I guess in the comments below, help me out. Give me reasons why I should be playing Final Fantasy III. I would like to pick it up probably on a handheld version. I know they had a Game Boy Advance version of the game. It's kind of pricey. Well, like $30 probably for a Game Boy cartridge. But let me know in the comments below what you think, if I should pick that up. I'm not likely to play through it on the Super Nintendo, because what are the chances of me sitting in front of this TV and playing a 40+ hour RPG with Alicia just sitting there wondering what the fuck she can do. So, yeah, let me know in the comments below if I should play Final Fantasy 3, or maybe if I should play Final Fantasy 2. I know I already have Final Fantasy 2 on Game Boy Advance, and I believe I also have it on DS. Did it come out on DS? I think it did. Anyways, let me know what the best version of Final Fantasy 3/6 is for me to play. Thanks once again to Bryan, the Co-op Collector. Go check him out. Like the video, subscribe if you're new. And as always, keep it real, Internet. I love you guys.